Susie Salmon was a 14-year-old innocent girl. A cruel murderer mercilessly took her life after harming her. Her murder happened on December 8, 1973. Susie narrates the story of her short life. She describes how she spent her days while she was alive. Susie belonged to a small family. They all lived a happy and prosperous life. In her home, she lived with her father, mother, grandmother, sister, and a younger brother. Her father worked as an accountant. He was an ordinary man who led a simple life. Susie had a dream of becoming a wildlife photographer. However, she was more interested in taking pictures of herself and others rather than animals. She found great joy in this activity. One day, Susie's mother was shocked when she noticed that all 24 camera rolls she had given to Susie were used up. Susie wanted to get her pictures developed, but her mother refused. Then her father said that one roll could be developed every month. One day something unexpected happened. Susie's younger brother started choking on something. At that time their parents were not at home. But Susie was a responsible girl. She quickly put her brother in the car and rushed him to the hospital. In this way she saved his life. After this incident, her grandmother said, "It is believed that if you save someone's life, your own life becomes longer." Susie was a student in high school. The school was a little far from their home. She used to walk back home and often took a shortcut through the fields. Not far from Susie's home, there was an old pit. People used to throw unwanted things there, and over time those things got buried underground. Near that place, a girl named Ruth Connors lived. She had an unusual ability to sense strange things. Because of this, people looked at her with curiosity. Susie had feelings for a senior boy in her college named Ray. But she never confessed them because she was scared. In reality, Ray also liked her. One day, Ray met Susie in college and invited her to meet him at the mall. This made Susie extremely happy. Along with the invitation, he gave her a letter. Inside the letter, there was a beautiful poem written for her. Susie was very happy and excited. In this joy, she took the same small path on her way home, the one that passed through the fields. But Susie did not know that someone was watching her. This person was their new neighbor, named George Harvey. He lived right in front of Susie's house in a greenhouse. However, in reality he was a dangerous killer. Before this, he had already taken the lives of many people. But every time he managed to escape. This was because he killed his victims with great cleverness and complete planning. This time he had chosen Susie as his next target. In that field, he had made all the arrangements for Susie's murder. He knew that she often took this route. For this purpose, he had built an underground basement in the fields. He had filled it with toys so that he could attract children. That day, Susie was on her way home. At that moment, the letter given to her by Ray slipped from her hands. She had not even read it yet. The letter flew away with the wind and went far. Susie ran to catch it. But George Harvey was already standing there. He also tried to grab the letter, but he failed. Then, he cleverly distracted Susie with his words. Harvey told Susie that he had made something special, which he wanted to show her. Susie believed him. She was only a 14-year-old innocent girl who was not very mature. That day she was extremely happy because of Ray. In that joyful moment she agreed to go with Harvey. She loved seeing new and beautiful things. Friends, if you are watching this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Susie followed Harvey into the basement. But when she reached there, she faced a terrifying reality. Harvey showed his cruel nature. He did everything he wanted to do with Susie. He took advantage of her and then ruthlessly killed her. After that, he cut her body into pieces. Since this story is a supernatural story, surprising events take place in it. When Susie was in the basement, it seemed as if she somehow escaped. She ran to the road and saw her father. He was holding her picture and asking people about her. Susie called out to him, but he could not hear her. At this moment, the story took a new turn. In reality, Susie was already dead. Everything that was happening was an experience of her soul. She was neither on earth nor in heaven. Susie entered a world that existed between earth and heaven. However, she could sense the realities of both. On the other hand, when Susie went missing, her parents were overwhelmed with deep worry. They immediately informed the police. Meanwhile, Susie's soul also realized the truth that she was no longer alive. Now, she was not a part of this world anymore. She had died. Then she saw her murderer, George Harvey. He was sitting in a bathtub, washing Susie's blood off his body. Susie's father had a unique skill. He was an expert in making glass ships. One day while he was busy with his work, Susie asked him why he did all this. In response, he said that it was his passion. Passion is something that keeps you connected to the things you love until you complete them. This thought felt very personal to Susie because she had also left behind beautiful memories and relationships. However, even after death, Susie's soul did not find peace. She remained in the world between earth and heaven for a special purpose. Her heart was filled with love for her family and a burning desire for revenge against her killer. These emotions stopped her from entering heaven. On the night of Susie's murder, Ruth Connor caught a glimpse of her on the road. But in reality, Susie was already dead, and her soul had already left that place. That same night, Ruth found the letter that Ray had given to Susie. Susie reached a world where there were no limits to time. However, in the real world, time had moved far ahead. During the investigation, the police found Susie's hat, which her mother had knitted for her. Time passed, and the police concluded that Susie was no longer alive. Her mother also accepted this painful reality. But Susie's father refused to give up. He loved his daughter deeply. Susie's soul created several unusual incidents for him, which he could feel. A strong determination grew within him to find his daughter's killer. Many days passed, but George Harvey was not caught. Susie's mother's condition worsened with each passing day. She received a job offer and decided to move away from her family. Susie's father remained committed to his promise. Every month, he bought a new camera and used it to develop photographs. He also continued searching for the killer himself. However, he did not achieve any significant success. Meanwhile, Harvey roamed freely and no one suspected him even slightly. One day the police reached his house, but he still managed to escape. Then one day Susie's sister Lindsay stepped outside with her dog. As soon as she approached Harvey's house, her dog started barking loudly. Seeing this, Lindsay began to doubt Harvey. However, she needed evidence against him. On the other hand, Harvey once again felt the urge to hunt. This time his target was Lindsay. At the same time, Susie's soul met the spirits of all those who had been murdered by Harvey. She learned how and when they had been killed. Harvey committed his first murder in 1960 by killing his tenant, a woman. His second crime took place in 1966 when he murdered a 13-year-old girl named Jennifer and dumped her body into the sewer. Then he killed a girl named Leah Fox and threw her into the river. After that, he took the life of a 6-year-old innocent child, Lana Johnson. Later, in Pennsylvania, he hunted another young girl. Following all these murders, Susie became his next victim. Despite committing so many crimes, Harvey was still roaming freely. However, Susie's soul was determined to take revenge. It had been 11 months since Susie's death. Her father was still searching for the killer. During this time, he developed the final film from Susie's camera. A shocking detail appeared in those pictures. When Susie had taken a photo of some flowers, Harvey was visible in the background. Seeing this, Jack's mind sparked with an idea. He suspected that this man might have done something to his daughter. Jack immediately rushed to his garden and examined the same flowers that Susie had captured in the pictures. By now, all of them had withered. Suddenly, right before Jack's eyes, one of the flowers turned fresh again. Only Jack could witness the strange event. After this, he started watching Harvey with suspicion. At that moment, Harvey was constructing a wooden structure. However, no one knew that it was actually a trap for Lindsay. Jack sensed his intentions. He began staring at Harvey with doubtful eyes. On the other hand, Harvey also realized Jack's suspicion. Without wasting a moment, he ran toward his house. Jack chased after him, but he lacked any evidence. The police considered Jack guilty instead and told him that he could not accuse anyone without proof. However, Lindsay is completely convinced that Harvey is the killer. One day, when Harvey is not home, Lindsay quietly enters his house and starts searching. She finds a diary that contains photos of Susie and some of her hair. Along with that, there is also a detailed plan for Susie's murder. At that very moment, Harvey returns home. He senses that someone might be inside. He immediately runs to the spot where he had hidden the diary. But before he can do anything, Lindsay manages to escape. Harvey realizes that he might get caught now. He quickly starts packing his belongings to flee. Lindsay immediately informs the police about everything and hands over the diary to them. However, by then it's already too late. Harvey has already escaped. Before leaving, he disposes of the locker that contains Susie's body. He throws the locker into a deep well and escapes. Years pass by. One day Harvey is ready to hunt again. He stands on a snowy mountain. Suddenly, a large chunk of ice falls on him. This causes him to lose his balance and he falls down. All his bones break and he dies on the spot. That is the moment when Susie's revenge is finally completed. Since Rut Corner can sense supernatural things, she calls Susie's spirit to her. She meets Susie for the last time. As time passes, Susie's father and mother start to feel at peace. Finally, Susie ascends to heaven because her mission is complete. Friends, if you like the story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and see you in the next video.